Um, Tonight, I want to show you how simple it is to advance in this business. Okay. And what I see from many people is that they're doing it all wrong. They're just doing it all wrong. So we're going to study the wrong way to do this. All right. So you can scratch those things off of your list, compare that to what you might be doing or thinking of doing, and to make sure you don't waste your time doing things that are not going to get results. Okay. So we're going to start with the negative. Once we clear that off, we're going to pull all that off the table and then start building on the positive. All right. So, and it's so simple. It's just so simple. Once you have it crystallized in your mind and have a plan, a written plan, it's good to have a written plan of action. You know, if it's not written down, it really doesn't exist. It's just a mist in your mind, right? Any entrepreneur who's ever raised money never did it without having a written plan to show someone else. And not that you're going to show someone else this, but you're going to monitor it yourself. Okay? Because nothing works 100%. And conditions are always changing. So when you have a written plan, you can monitor the results that you're getting based on the activity that you have. And as needed, and it will be needed, you're going to need to adjust that plan from time to time. You're going to fine tune it. You're going to tweak it. You're going to adjust some screws and increase the oxygen ratio to your fuel, and maybe cut back on the acceleration a little bit, and refocus, where you're taking your business vehicle, right? So you've got to be able to make adjustments, and you can't adjust if you don't know where you're at. And that's where a written plan really comes into play. All right, written plan, written goals. Are you achieving that? And really the key to success is whether you're doing the right things or the wrong things, is doing something every day. No matter what you're doing, do something every day. If you do something wrong long enough, you're going to learn, hey, this doesn't work. And that's a positive, because now you don't have to do that anymore. But the problem is most people don't have the proper mentality, and they think, oh, well, this doesn't work, so I'm going to quit. No, you don't quit, you adjust. All right, if you're truly serious about success. All right, I find that today people are too conditioned to quit easily, and they don't have that level of commitment. And if that's the way you're thinking, you're not going to make it in any business. Okay, and I see so many people, they'll try a program for a while, and a short while, all right, and when things don't just explode automatically for them, they go, oh, this program doesn't work very good. No, you are not working it very well, all right? With the right dedication, with the right commitment, with the right intensity, with the right training, with the right knowledge, with the right tools, okay? You could take a horrible program and be successful with it if you were doing the right things, all right? So what are the wrong things to do? I hope you have a pen and pad and can take some notes. I don't have a PowerPoint prepared for this evening, so please take some notes, and I'm sure that it will be beneficial for you down the road, okay? So the first wrong thing to do. You're in a new business. What do? Where do you go? Who do you talk to? What do you say? How do you approach them? All right, the first thing most people do that's wrong is they talk to their close friends and family. That's the absolute wrong thing to do. Unless you've already established a tremendous track record of success in everything that you do, and you've built up this reputation of just having the Midas touch, and people look at you in awe to say, wow, whatever he or she is doing, I'm just going to follow him or her. Okay? Most of us don't have that reputation. Okay? So talking to your friends and family is the worst thing to do right off the bat. The time to approach them is after you've achieved some success. Because what's the first question out of their mouth? Well, what's it doing for you? How are you doing? And you can't answer that. So you're shot down right off the bat. All right, so what does that mean? That means we're going to talk to people we don't even know. We're going to find there are how many billions of people in this world? How many millions of people within 100 miles of you? And geography has no impact whatsoever now that we live in the day of the internet, right? You know, I started the networking business back when it was limited to paper flyers, handouts, postcards that we had to mail out, and hotel meetings. All right? I've been to so many hotel meetings, I hate to even think about it. I should own stock in one of these hotels. Okay? So you got it so easy right now, being in the age of the internet. Okay? So that's number one. Going to your friends and family is the worst thing you can do unless you have the right approach. Okay? We'll talk about that approach. All right? The other thing, the next thing that people do that is wrong is they do an email blast. Just, you know, get some kind of message out to as many people as possible and expect them to respond. Okay, well, remember this. People are bombarded with emails, all right? Promotions, ads, everybody's got something to promote, all right? And when you just blast something out there, you're just blending in with all the other noise that people are getting in their email box. All right, and that's not going to get you the results. All right, so number two, an email blast is not the thing to do. All right, number three, I've seen members in our group that have sent out an email, not a blast, but maybe a personalized email. Okay, well, that's a step in the right direction. And the email basically said something like this. Hey, this is such and such and such. You ought to take a look at it. Here's a link to presentation, and it was a long presentation, okay? And if you like it, here's a link to sign up. See ya. No, no, no. How many times can I say, no, that's not the way to do this? My goodness gracious. First of all, for example, I get people every day. I've got about 10 email addresses, and the email boxes are full of people saying, hey, Mark, look at this video. And they don't even tell me what it is. Or even if they do tell me what it is, if I looked at every link that everybody sent me, I wouldn't have time to go to the bathroom. Okay? So, no, you don't send out an email link with a long presentation. Absolutely not. People don't have time. They're not going to look at it. You've not given them any reason to take the time. All right? You're ahead of yourself in the relationship development process. All right? Business is based on relationships, and people will do business with people they like, almost regardless of what they have to offer, if it's some reasonable offer, okay? So you've got to put the relationship before the presentation, okay? And in what we're doing, we're only looking for 3 good business partners to work with. 3, that's it. You don't need to blast this out to everybody. You want to be selective in finding 3 good business partners to work with. And look at it that way, because they're going to be working with you in this business. It's not a case where you're just going to keep throwing stuff up against the wall and see if any of it sticks. No. You want to develop a personal relationship with business partners to join you in your business. Okay, so you need to be selective and choose who you want to work with you. So it's a qualification process. All right. So relationships come before the presentation. All right. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. A salesperson is someone who tries to push something without even knowing the needs of their prospect. Just, you know, we all know the term the pushy salesman. Well, if you don't know what the person you're talking to needs, what their problems are, how you can solve those problems, what their needs are, if you don't know anything about them, why are you presenting anything? You might just be wasting their time, and that does damage to your reputation and your image. It doesn't help you. Just trying to push something off, okay? So sending out an email that says, hey, this is cool, watch this presentation, and if you like it, you can sign up here. I mean, that is just a total cop-out. Complete and total cop-out. Absolutely not. People are not going to sign up. You will get zero results with that. Zero. And waste your time. Okay? So, I mean, that should be quite obvious, but I know not everybody has a lot of experience in some of these things, so we just have to learn, right? All right, so a similar approach I've seen is where someone took the approach or the attitude that, hey, this is cool, take a look, and if you like it, let me know. Again, guaranteed results, zero. Guaranteed zero results. Why? People today, generally speaking, are not leaders. They're followers. They need to be told what to do. They need someone to hold their hand to guide them to make a decision that is reasonably beneficial to them, and then walk them through the registration process. All right? So here's a presentation. If I can help you, let me know. That's a complete hands-off approach that, again, has guaranteed results. Zero results, okay? You've got to work with somebody personally, find out what their needs are, what their points of anxiety are, what their problems are, what their desires are, and then relate your business to them in such a way that it helps them solve their problem. It helps improve their life in one way or another. Okay? And so there's so many ways that we can benefit someone in their life based on what we're doing. There's so many different ways to present it with the benefits. You just need to know what you have in your quiver, all right? What you have in your portfolio, and be able to relate that to someone's need. You know, it's the age-old adage, find a need and what? Fill it. And until you know what that need is, you have no business presenting anything. Okay? So that's the basic approach, is develop relationships, find the need, find the pain, and solve it. All right, and that takes some interaction. And again, you only need 3 good people. And once you've got that, you help those 3 do the same thing, and you're off and running. Could not be more simple. Okay? So, along those lines, people have a tendency to want to load people up with too much information. Okay, and again, that's what salespeople do. You are a consultant. If you follow the training we get in our emails, you are a cash flow consultant. What do? Oh, I'm a cash flow consultant. Oh, really? What's that? Oh, I show people how to generate more cash flow and how to make their money work harder for them. Oh, well, that's interesting. Do you have a card? All right, you need to have some cards printed up. You know, when you're out just talking casually to people, be ready to hand them out, drop them off like Johnny Appleseed around town. Okay? So that's another problem that people have. They get diarrhea of the mouth and they start dumping information, and people on the other end of the phone or the conversation are like, how do I get out of here? You know, I found myself in that situation so many times. People just love to talk, and they don't listen to the other person. A good cash flow consultant will ask probing questions and listen to the response, because you're looking for the prospect to open up the door for you. Okay? Until you get them to expose their needs and their wants, the door is closed. But as soon as they open up to you, you've got an open door. Now you know where to go with the conversation. So in the sales business, there's a term called engineering the agreement. All right? You know where you want to go. You want to get that agreement, but you have to engineer it. You have to structure your approach, the conversation, the personal rapport that you have with that individual in such a way that they know that you have their interest truly at heart, just by your demeanor, by your questioning, by the way you conduct yourself. And once they know that, then the defenses come down and you can have a meaningful conversation. All right, but back to the point, too much information is going to chase people away. You don't want to give them too much information. All we want to do, if we're using any kind of social media, email, even a phone conversation, all we want to do, your only objective on an initial approach, it's not to get them signed up. Your objective is to set the hook. You want to set that hook to the point where they've only got a little bit of a bait and they bite on it. And now you can reel them in and give them some more information once they've shown an interest. And the information you give them is tailored to the needs or the desires that they want. Okay? So this is just relationship building and qualifying, all right? You're qualifying them to see if you want to work with them. I just had a case this week where I thought I had a guy that I wanted to work with on another project, and I did enough probing and exploring, and I finally got some things to come out, and I realized I want nothing to do with this guy. He's a flake. Says one thing, does another, talking out of both sides of his mouth. I don't want that brain torture that I would get if I had to work with him on a regular basis. So I had to end the conversation. And that's the attitude you need to have. You know, you're qualifying people to work with you. You don't want a bunch of, deadbeat do-nothings signed up with you. They sign up and that's the last you ever see of them. And there's plenty of those people. Believe me, there's plenty. Okay? So hold back on your information until you know what information is appropriate that they would be interested to have. And we've got so much information. We've got so many different videos. You know, we can approach things from the CSN standpoint, from Tradera, from cryptocurrency. I mean, just so many different things. Okay. So that's where your involvement in the community center is important, really, to know your product and be able to talk a little bit about it. You don't have to be an expert, but just be a little bit conversant, you know, to know what's there. Okay. So in a previous training that I did, you know, I went over a very simple phone approach to use where you could just look at advertisements and call up businesses on the phone, people you don't even know, and have success. Okay? This is in the last training that we did. I'm not going to go over it again. The problem is that a lot of folks, they look at that cell phone and they get this mental image that it must weigh at least 500 pounds. They can't pick it up. I can't pick up that phone. It's too heavy. There's a fear element involved. Okay? You got to get over that fear. Or there's a lot of friends out there you haven't made yet. All right? And that's the way to look at it. And if you take the right approach, it's going to be a friendly approach. And no matter how they respond, you can end it on a friendly note. Okay? And I'll just review that. I'll just review that real quickly with you here if you missed that previously. And here's the approach. It's real simple. You ring the business, Subway sandwich shop. Okay. Hello, this is Sally. Can I help you? Oh, hi, Sally. This is Mark. Sally, I've been calling some of the businesses in the area. I'm trying to reach out and help the businesses that are suffering from this COVID lockdown. And I wanted to share some information with the owner. Are you the owner of the store? And of course, probably she isn't. No, I'm not. Oh, okay. Well, could I get their name? Get the name first before you ask anything else. Oh, yeah. Well, that's Bill Schmidt. Great. Well, would Bill be available that I could talk to him right now? Well, no, he comes in later in the afternoon. Oh, really? What time does he come in? Oh, around 4 o'clock usually, if you want to call back then. Okay, great. Now you got a lead. You know who the owner is. You know when he's going to show up. You know when to call. And so you call Bill. Hey, Bill, this is Mark. I called earlier and talked to Sally. Now you've got a point of reference, right? Oh, Sally, yeah. Yeah, she's a great employee. Been working with me for 5 years. Great. How can I help you? Well, Bill, listen, I'm reaching out to some of the businesses in the area. I'm in the business of helping businesses develop their cash flow. And I know a lot of folks have been hurting with this lockdown situation. And I know you're relatively prominent in the area. And what I'd like to do is just let you know about my business and what I do. And you probably have a circle of influence. And if you know of anybody that could use some extra help with their cash flow situation, you'd at least be able to refer them to me. Could I get your help on that? Or could I ask you to help me with that? People are very responsive to, oh yeah, sure, I'd be happy to help you out. Okay, well, Bill, let me do this. I know you're busy. I don't want to keep you right now. If I could get your email, I'll send you just a little bit of information in the email. If you could look it over, and then if I could call you back maybe tomorrow or the next day and just answer any questions you have. That way we make sure that we're on the same page and you know, you'd have a good resource for anybody that we could help out. Fair enough? Oh, yeah, okay. All right, now notice how I use these little tie-down questions. You understand that? Does that seem fair? Is that fair enough? Can we do that? Those are little tie-downs. You want to ask a simple little question to get them to say yes. Get them in the agreement mode, okay? And if you do that enough times in a conversation, oh, do you see how that works? Oh, do you see how that could be a benefit? Do you see how people might respond to that? That's pretty clever, isn't it? Simple little questions to get them in the mood of saying yes. Okay. I'm giving you a whole sales training right here, which wasn't my intention here tonight. But since we're here, let's make the best of it. Okay. But that's a simple approach. You can get on the phone and call anybody. Hey, I'm just reaching out to businesses in the area, trying to help improve their cash flow situation, get over this crazy lockdown situation. Does that seem reasonable? Oh yeah, sure. Well, what is it? All right. So now you got the conversation started, or you got a contact. And you're talking to someone who's potentially very responsible and aggressive, potentially interested. And the worst case scenario is, oh no, I don't have time for that. That's not for me. Okay, great. Well, at least now you know about it. And when you run across anybody, you know about me, you'll be able to refer them. Okay? So it's a win-win no matter what. Either he comes along, gets in the boat with you, or at least he knows about you and you have a contact. And the last thing you do is say, well, Bill, I'll tell you what, do you mind if I just keep you up to date once in a while with what's going on with what we're doing? If I could just send you an email every once in a while, would that be okay? Get his permission. Chances are 8 out of 10, he'll probably say, yeah, sure, here's my email. And you've got an email address to start put them on a tickler file. And I guarantee you, if you work this within 1 or 2 or 3 weeks tops, you could have 500 people on a email list, and you just send them a little tickler every once in a while with some interesting news about what's going on in the world that relates to what you're doing. There's plenty of horror stories going on out there to demonstrate why people need what you have. Unemployment, forced evacuation due to fires, hurricanes, economic situation, riots. I mean, pick a headline. You could use that to your advantage. All right. So you got plenty to talk about once you get them on an email list. Okay. So it's just real simple. You don't need any fancy lead program, even though we have those. You can get on the phone with that simple approach and generate all the leads you want. And back to what I said earlier, do something consistent every day. If you made 1 or 2 new contacts every day, I guarantee you'll be successful in your business, whatever it is. Okay? But those days go by, those calendar pages flip by. Every time I turn down the covers to go to bed at night, I'm like, oh my gosh, another night, another day has gone by. I mean, they're going by so fast. And if you're not taking advantage of making progress every day, you're losing time and you're losing ground. So a little bit every day will move you forward. Okay? So that's the approach. It's real simple. You might get the question, well, what kind of business are you in? Well, I'm a cash flow consultant. Like I said before, I'm a cash flow consultant. I show people how to generate more cash flow and to make their money work harder for them. All right. So you've just made a statement. Don't stop there. Always follow up a statement with a question. All right. You're engineering the agreement. You're steering your prospect into the conversation in the direction that you want to go. So I'm a cash flow consultant. I show people how to generate more cash flow and make their money work harder for them. Let me ask you, do you have any investments that are making double-digit growth on a monthly basis? And you'll see his eyes open up and like, what? Yeah, I'm serious. That's what we're doing. So that's a simple way to, approach it. Follow the statement with a question to get a response. You don't want to just say something and then have dead air. All right. You want to put the ball back in his court, get some kind of response. Have you ever heard of something like that? Is that something that you're doing or would like to get some information about? You know, you're setting the hook. All right. You're setting the hook. That's all you want to do. So we've got this MLM Recruit on Demand lead generation program. Let's talk about that. All right. So what do we do with that? What kind of a presentation do you do for something like that? Well, I've done the 2-minute, 3-minute teaser video. All right. You've probably seen that. If not, it's in the community center. You need to go look. And I would use that. And all that does, it gives a brief overview and it sets the hook. Is this something that you could benefit from? Contact me. Let's start a discussion. Let's start a discussion. And that's all you want to do. Start a discussion. Find the need. Fill the need. Okay? So yeah, that's what you do. All right, now in the MLM ROD system, I think a large number of the leads that you get, correct me if I'm wrong, but when I was in it several years ago, I was getting a lot of leads of other networkers, which has a positive side and a negative side. Okay, the positive is, you know, they're not going to be complaining, oh, what you're doing is a pyramid. They understand networking. They're already in the networking program. Okay, that's the positive. So you don't need to educate them on that aspect of it. Okay, so that's a big plus. The negative is that when you get into some of these circles with other networkers, and I've mentioned in our email trainings too, the MLMgateway.com. And that's a good program if you know how to deal with it properly. Okay. And the reason I say that is because the downside to getting in with other networkers is that you find yourself in a situation where they're trying to sell you on their program and you want them to look at your program. And then it ends up in a standoff and nobody does anything. Or they sell you and you go off in a different direction. Okay. So there's a way to deal with this. Okay. You want to know about their program. You'd like to know about it. You want to see where they are at in their program. Your mission is to help them have more success in what they're already doing. All right. Not to sell them on your program. You will in the end. Okay. But bear with me. So you start asking them questions about their business. Oh, well, what do you do? Tell me about your program. What's the product? What's the service? How long have you been doing this? You know, have you had much success with it so far? All right. What do you like about it? Are you having any problems or issues that maybe I could help you with? Okay. So you're going to find out where they're at and what they're doing. Now, if they're successful, already very successful, you might think, well, that's no good. They're not going to come with my program. They're already successful. Absolutely not. You want the most successful people possible because they're making money. And what do? We help people make their money work harder for them. So the more successful somebody is, the better of a prospect they should be. Okay? We're just going to add to their success. We're going to complement the tools and resources they have to make their money work harder for them. So no matter how far down the ladder your contact might be in the program they are in, you want to try to get up line. Well, how is your sponsor doing? Do you have some really successful upline people? You know? And if so, you want to try to get to those people, and guess what? Through what you can offer, the person you're talking to who's low on the totem pole, just started, not making any money, that's why they're in the lead program, you can propose to them, well, how would you like to be getting overrides on your successful upline? Ooh, that might be interesting. Well, if we teamed up, you could introduce me to your successful upline. And once you know what we're doing, we're going to knock your socks off, and your upline is going to come with us, and learn how to make their money work harder for them. Okay. So now you've just shown a path to success from someone who's low on the totem pole, just starting out in another program. Okay. And he can continue doing what he's doing. It's not an either or situation. Hey, you continue doing what you're doing, but let's add some tools and resources to what you are doing. All right. I'm not here to compete with you. I'm not here to steal you away from your organization to come over to my organization. Not at all. I just want to help you be more successful. Okay. And as you build your success and generate more cash flow, you'll know where to put it. You'll know how to protect it. You'll know how to keep your privacy. All the things that we do in Strategy 2020. Okay. So that's the approach with other networkers. You want the more successful as possible, not to change their direction, but simply to complement their resources, because believe me, hardly anybody has any financial education. And that's our business. What do you do? Oh, I'm in the financial education business. I show people how to make their money work harder for them. That's simple. All right, so that's it. That's it. So MLM Gateway, that's the approach to take. Same thing with MLM Rod. And all you want to do, you don't want to blast a lot of information out. All you want to do is start a conversation. Set the hook, start a conversation, make it personal, talk to the people, get on the phone, get on Skype, get however you can. Talk to the people and develop that personal relationship. Show an interest in who they are and what they're doing and what their goals are. And start thinking about how you can help them achieve their goals, not how they're going to help you achieve your goals. Okay? So that's what a successful consultant does. Finds a need and fills it. Finds a problem and solves it. Okay? So that's about it. I mean, that's, if all you did was that, you'll be successful, I guarantee you. Okay? So let's review. Last thing you want to do is talk to your friends and family until you're already successful. Scratch that off the list. And with that phone script I just went over with you, you've got unlimited leads everywhere. Just everywhere. Pick up a newspaper, a shopper, a flyer, who's advertising and promoting their business. All right? Anybody who's promoting their business is a lead for you. It's very simple. Call them up. Make a friend. Okay? Number 3, people need to have their hand held. They need to be led. They need to be told what to do. You're engineering the agreement. Again, okay? So you're not going to just dump a bunch of information off on them and expect them to take the initiative. They're not going to do it. You need to have a call to action. Your conversation is going to find out the needs or the hot spots or the pain points. All right, that's going to open the door for you. You're going to present the information needed only to fill that need and not just dump a bunch of stuff on them. All right, well, here's one thing that we're doing, and do you see how that might be able to help you out? All right, and then once you've got them to agree, make a couple small agreements. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Oh yeah, I can see that. Oh yeah, that looks pretty interesting. All right, now you can assume the close. Okay, well, here's what we need to do. Here's your call to action. Here's what we need to do. I'm going to bring you over to this enrollment link, and you can do it with them right there on the phone if you can. Let's get you enrolled, and it's free to enroll and only $25 to get you into the gateway, into the communities where you can start learning about this stuff. Okay, so let's do that. You take them by the hand. You do it right there with them if you can. Okay, so People need to be led by the hand. Don't leave them to take the initiative themselves. Okay, you need to lead them. You're engineering the agreement where you assume the close because you've solved their problems, and you give them the direction, the help to get started. So it's that simple. Okay, so that's pretty much it. That's really all you need to know. There's a lot of things we could get off to. Let me deal with some of the information in the chat here, and while I'm reviewing that, feel free to let me know what you have on your mind, and we can talk about it. Well, it looks like Gary's quite active. Okay, so Gary says he's turned off because I'm just a salesman. Okay, well, look at it this way. You're in business. And I don't care what you say, what you think. If you're in business, if you don't sell something, you're out of business.
No, we're not in business. Okay, it was presented to me as a giving program, and it's a giving program because there's no tax ID involved. And if it's a business, there has to be representation, there has to be registration, you have to file forms, and this is not a business. It's great that it's not a business. It's a wonderful giving program, and that's why I got involved, because I saw that. I've been in business for over 45 years. This is not a business. There's no product, and there's no service, and that's good. With no product, no service, I can talk to people and say, this, and everybody I've spoken to wants to get involved. I just tell them it's a giving program. That's all. Done.
Okay, well, that's one way to look at it. That's one way to look at it. If all you're
it's a legal way. Legally, if there's no tax ID and no registration with the IRS, you can go to jail for calling it a business. You can say it's a giving program because that's covered under the IRS, and as long as you don't give somebody more than the threshold of giving, you don't have to file any tax reports.
okay.
And so you got to be careful with your wording. I've been in the legal profession over and over. You got to be really careful. It's not a business, but it is considered a network, but it's not like an MLM. It's not, because there's no paperwork to require filing for anybody. And that's a plus for this particular kind of program.
Right, right. Well, you're looking at it strictly from the standpoint of the gifting program with CSN. All right.
That's
and
correct.
You're right about that. You're absolutely right. And if that's the approach you want to take, then wonderful. You know, my experience is a lot of people need more than that. They look at it and they go, oh, that's one of those pyramid programs. I tried one of those before, it didn't work, you know? And so if you can get response from that approach, that's great. But we've got much more value to offer people than just that. That's only one small element of the big Strategy 2020 vision that we have, okay? Now, as far as being a business, I mean, we can talk about definitions. What do we mean by a business? A registered business with a license and a shingle to hang out? No, that's not it at all. We're building a network. You're absolutely right. We're building a network with a series of independent profit centers, okay? And it is a business. We're building a network. We're moving into different profit centers. You're trying to establish various sources of independent cash flow, okay? And that requires a building process and discipline. And we do have a product. That product is education. Although they're not paying for it directly, they are when they get into profit center number 2, which is Trade Era. That's $99 a month. But that's not our business, that's Trade Era. But that's a part of the overall strategy. So if you're only looking at the gifting program, you're absolutely right, okay? And
well, see, I never heard of, I've been in this now for 5 weeks, and I never heard one thing about anything but the CSN giving portion of it. And so forgive me, I just never heard of any services or products being offered. And when I got on this call, it was just a little upsetting because I was expecting to be hearing more about the giving program.
Okay.
So my fault for not knowing all the other stuff, but that's my sponsor didn't present that to me at all. It was just presented as a good, solid biblical giving program. And as I investigated it, I agreed with them.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's
Amen.
one element of the bigger picture. Absolutely. Okay. So there's several videos right on the website. Apparently you haven't seen those. I'd suggest you go through those videos. That'll give you the big picture.
Well,
And
I went through 6 videos that were sent to me, so I don't know. And all of them were on just explaining the back office and the giving portion. I didn't see any product or services. In fact, but frankly, if I had, I wouldn't be interested, because to me, everything is a full-time business, and I've already got 3 full-time businesses going now. So I don't have the time to spend, as you're saying, you know, to build it. If I was building an MLM or networking, I would agree with you. It is nearly full-time, and that's not for everybody. For me personally, I love the giving portion of this. I think it's fantastic.
Mhm. Well, focus on that. Focus on what has your interest and what motivates you. And other people will have perhaps other perspectives, and they'll be exposed to some of the other things that we're doing, and they'll do what they feel they need to do. So that
All
way,
right. Well, my apologize to the other people on the phone call that already knew that this was about more business than it was the giving. So it's my fault, but again, forgive me. I'm sorry I brought it all up.
no,
Hey, Mark.
that's good. That's good. I'm glad
Mark.
you brought it up. It's a good
Mark.
point, and I'm glad we were able to talk about it.
Mark, can you
Yeah.
hear me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, good. Yeah, I heard what Gary just said. And of course, it doesn't matter what anybody says. I see it as a giving program, because given it shall be given, pressed down, shaken together, overflowing, shall other men, women come and give into your bosom. That's how it's been working for me. I kind of like it. So it's a biblical program, period. Because I got 25 businesses and I don't need another business either. But Gary did make some great points. But Mark, um, I was involved in 2 programs. One about 45 years ago, very well, it was identical to this, except there were no computers, and consequently, you had to cut a money order or go get go to the post office and get, I guess, those money orders. I can't remember, but any kind of real cash deal or cash, and hand it to the person that sponsored you. And it was a giving program, and I made about $100,000 in 10 minutes. It might have been 12. It went so fast. It was like lightning, and it was so wonderful. It took us, my wife and I, 3 years to spend those checks. They would come in the mailbox every day, every week. It was piles of them. But then, the lying bastard communist pigs, socialists, whatever, killed the deal. Forgive me, Lord, I'm getting upset. Anyway, they killed the program. I even called the attorney general in a couple of states, and they backed off because I said, this is not illegal. It's not a pyramid. This is giving one person to another. Stay out of it. So anyway, they did. They repented and backed out. But then other states came along and killed it. All I'm saying is it was a giving program, and I'd like to figure out, there's a glitch here. I can't seem to get past go. I can sponsor probably 30 people in a day. I mean, I'm being ridiculous, but I'm trying to make a point. I literally could do that, but they're not going to do anything because there's a hindrance. And I have a very smart man I sponsored, and he figured out what the hindrance was. And he wants to speak with you because I cannot explain what it is he's telling.
Okay.
But boy, I need to get him involved so we can figure out how to make this thing go like greased lightning, being computerized and all. And whoever invented this behind the scenes for you, maybe it was you, Mark, you're a genius, they're a genius, thank you. But there's a problem here. I can't seem to figure it out, but I hope we can figure it out, why it's not going faster.
Yeah.
I'll be quiet now.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm open to ideas. And you know what? There's always room for improvement. So the door is always open if you've got ideas, want to talk about that. So you're more than welcome. Just a comment on one reason why, governmental authorities crack down on similar type of programs is because they look at it as a money game, right? Money games universally get shut down. And that's one reason why we've added the financial education element to it. All right. If I wanted to, I could package this up and sell this package. In fact, I have for $10,000 to high net worth individuals, you know, dealing strictly on the higher financial end. Okay. And really the biggest problem we have is $25 is just too cheap. People don't believe something could be that valuable for such a low price. All right. That's one of the biggest problems we have. They just don't believe the value that's here, but it is. But that's one thing that we've done specifically to head off any potential legal challenges from anybody that would think they could intervene, which they can't. But you get the idea. All right. For $25, you have complete financial education. You can't get anywhere else. So if someone spent $25, made the donation, and got nothing back, financially, they've got the knowledge and the education and access to just tons of information. So, so everybody gets the value. There's no way for anybody to lose in this deal. All right, that's the beauty of it.
Amen.
Yeah.
Mark, could I switch subjects for a second?
All right.
Having to do with, I already forgot the name, Gacera, whatever it is.
Nasara? Yeah.
Tradera.
Oh, okay, that's a different thing.
I signed up for that, and I thought we were going to be sponsored and have a lot of people come in under us. I don't know, supernaturally through you. Nothing ever happened for me. I just wondered what's going on there, if you can fill us in.
Okay. Well, that's part of our financial education. All right. Tradera is all about teaching people how to trade in the markets, as you know. So that fits right in with our modus operandi. And strategy 2020 is very simple. You start off with CNN. You build your network in the gifting program. Okay. And that network is growing. All right. Now you move into the program that gives you profit center number 2. That's Tradera. $99, no big deal. Okay. By the time you got a network going, you're getting donations in CSN, and that $99 doesn't even need to come out of pocket. That can come out of your incoming donations. All right. So your team in CSN then follows you into Tradera. You've already done the work. You've already built the network in CSN. All right. You move over to Tradera, they follow you, and you build your network and commission structure in Tradera. Your existing network, you don't need to build a new network. All right. You see that? Does that make sense?
Sure. But you were going to bring people in and put them up under us. Somebody was in Tradera. I never got anybody to come up under me. I just wondered where I dropped the ball, or if I even dropped the ball.
Well, I mean, you shouldn't join a program counting on someone else to do the work for you. All right.
Shoot.
If you do, then that's a bonus. All right.
I know. I like bonuses though.
Yeah, it's a bonus. All right. Now, what we've done is we've rolled this out kind of on a staged basis. All right. We started with a small group, then we opened it up to a larger group, and then the next group. And I have put a number of people under other teammates. All right. I haven't been able to do that with everybody. All right. So maybe you'll get some spillover, maybe you won't. But if you've done your job in CSN and got that network going in the gifting program, they should just follow you over into Tradera. That's the concept.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Yeah. Yeah. So you've already done the work in CSN. Get that going. Get your 3. They get 3. Get the gifting program going. Move over to profit center number 2. They follow you over, and it's automatic.
Another subject, please, I want to talk about.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. One of the enticing things in all the programs that you have come up with is an investment. Like, let's say I wanted to put $1,000 into your investing program that I think was generating like 8, 10, 12, 30% a month. How do we do that? I can't figure out where to go to, who to contact. I'd like to put $1,000 in that to see if that would grow that $1,000 while I slept.
Yeah, that's the objective. That's the end game with everything that we're doing here. Put some money to work so that it can work for you. All right.
So is that program available or not yet?
Yeah, it is. You need to go into the community center and poke around a little bit. Professional trading is one of our communities, and there's good information that'll lead you right to it.
Okay, thank you. I've
Yeah,
not been able to figure that out.
yeah,
Gary, did you have something else to say? I guess not.
yeah. So
No,
Gary,
can you hear me?
yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no, I don't have a lot more to say. As I said, I think I was pretty clear at the beginning. I'm really only interested in promoting the giving program because all the people that I know are in the same position that I am. They don't need a business. They just need a little more cash flow in their lives. And I'm looking at this that this will help them.
Great. Okay. Well, focus on that, and that's all you need. So you're in a situation where you've got more than you need. You don't need everything else that we're doing. You're not interested, and that's beautiful. You know, have at it, make it work, and anything we can do to support you, we're here to help. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
All right. So everyone's got their own situation, and you know, there's not a one size fits all for everybody. Okay. So yeah, if you want to keep it simple, work the gifting program, and hopefully you'll be successful enough at some point in time where you'll have a need for some of the other services. All right. So it'll happen automatically, whether you like it or not, Gary. I'm sorry.
Well, I've actually been in the financial business industry for 45 years, worked in banking at the highest levels, and I'm involved in trading whereby people have to have over $100 million to get in.
Uh-huh.
So I will refer this to some people. I'm also involved in another organization that is doing trading on a regular basis. In my position, I would prefer to hire people to do that rather than have to take the time. It's just a matter of there's no more time left in the day for me.
Yeah.
I mean,
Believe me, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Now, my main product is my own body, so I have to work very, very hard. I'm a singer, dancer, actor, entertainer, producer, songwriter, and I have to be in the gym 2 hours a day. And then there's prayer time, and then there's teaching voice lessons and working on my shows. I don't have any more time left.
Yeah, I understand. I understand. I get people presenting me with projects every day. I have to say the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, God bless you. I'm glad to see you're as productive as you are, and sounds like you've got a very fulfilling career and life, and just God bless you for that.
Amen. He has.
Happy to hear that. That's
Well, it's funny.
you're the kind of guy we're looking for. People who are successful and doing things and making things happen, and they'll find their niche with what we're doing here and run with it. You know, that's it. So
That's right. Yep.
beautiful. Okay, good questions and good challenges. I like to be challenged. Gary, that was a good challenge today. You put me on the spot, and I'm glad you did.
Well, can I do a plug?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's not for a business. If people want to see our production company, it's called 5 Stars Entertainment, and the website is 5starsllc.com. It's all spelled out, FIVESTARS LLC.com. We've got 18 motion pictures and 6 television shows working.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, here, I'll put it, you're driving. Let me see if I can put it in the chat here. 5 Stars LLC.com, right?
That's it. Yep.
All right. I just put it in the chat here for everybody. I'll go look at it. Sounds interesting.
I appreciate that.
All right. Glad to have you.
It's a pleasure to be here.
All right. Okay. Who else? Who wants to be a devil's advocate? You know, since we're on that theme, you want to try and poke holes in what we're doing. That's a good exercise to go through to you know, see if maybe we have misunderstandings or if there's a good response to your concern. It's always a good exercise to go through. So I'm not the least bit bashful. If someone wants to raise up concerns or issues.
Mark,
Yeah.
I don't have any concerns or issues. I think what you put together is quite remarkably well done in every way, shape, and form, with exception, I can't figure out how to invest $1,000 yet and make a return, which I wish that could be more clarified in the back office, but maybe I'm just stupid, which, forgive me, Lord, I'm not stupid, right?
Right.
But I have been
You're just uninformed, temporarily uninformed. That's all.
yeah, somehow in that back office, I need to be able to, I want to take $1,000 and put it in that program and have that money working for me and not lose it for a change.
Yeah. Oh, wow. For a change. Tell me about it.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you, Mark, you've obviously been in it, doing it. Is that 1,000 or 100,000 that you put into that program, is it successful? I do trading myself. For example, I lost, what did I lose? $800 last night trading. So I'm real good at it. And I need somebody that's a little better at it than me, though.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Well, you know, trading, you can go in spurts. You know, there's always risk involved. You have to understand that. We identified an opportunity in the oil markets earlier in the year, and we were able to quadruple our money in a matter of 4 or 5 months. And since that time, it's been a little choppy, but typically we strive for double-digit monthly returns. That's the figure that we typically talk about. And there have been months when it's been much higher than that. And I haven't had any months where it's been much lower than that. There have been a couple in the single digits. I think, in fact,
Mark, I think,
last
I'm
month
sorry.
was a low month. I think we were around, well, no, that was last week. That was last week with the election this week. So, no, it's quite successful. But to answer your question, Charles, let me just finish with this. We don't offer investments, so let's not talk about investments. That's another way to get in trouble, right? So what we do is MMG Capital, they've got a website. They've got video tutorials on that website. You'll find plenty of information in the community center on that. The website, I'll give it to you now. It's MMG Capital, CAPITAL.biz, B-I-Z. All right, there's a video tutorials page on there. We have 2 trust packages, gold and silver. All right, what MMG Capital does, they don't offer investments. What they do is they set up trusts. And then once the trust is set up, then you can do the business that you want from that trust. All right, whether that's trading or investing in gold or investing in another business. The operators of the trust can do whatever they want once their trust is funded. All right, trading is one option among others and many that are available. Okay, so just for clarity, yeah, let's not talk about investments. Let's just talk about setting up a trust and then doing business in the trust. But that's how it works.
Thank you.
Make sense, Charles?
Yes.
Good. Okay. So yeah, you'll find that info. Go to the website, mmgcapital.biz, and or go to the community center. You'll see information there.
So Mark, how could my friend and I get a hold of you directly so we can talk without dragging everybody else in it? We may be out to lunch on what we're thinking that would help make this thing go much more faster around the world.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Well, you get emails from me, right?
Yes.
Just do a reply.
Okay.
Just reply to the email. I'll get it.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah. any one of the Tradera emails, or I think even the CSN emails will come back. I'll get a copy, and then we'll go from there. All right. Okay. What else? What else are people doing? You running into obstacles that we can talk about to help solve, or successes that you want to share? Quiet crowd. All right. Well, you know what? That tells me you guys aren't doing very much. You need to get on the ball. You need to start putting some of this training into action here. Very simple. Very simple. Put it into action. Karen, do I see your hand up? Karen?
Yeah. I've been sort of out of communication for a couple of weeks and maybe even a month now. And I've tried to get into the back office, and I don't know, I think I've forgotten how to do that. And you know, I just want to refresh myself and
Yeah. Okay. All right. So
the notices that I've missed out on and some of the tutorials and stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, emails go out. So you probably got some emails waiting for you in your email box. To get into the back office, just go to csn.world, go to login, and chances are your computer browser has stored your username. And if you have problems with that and can't get that, there is a feature there. If you forgot your password, click on that. And worst case scenario, if you just can't make any of that work, just put in a guest ticket. You can put in a ticket as a guest, yeah.
I'm quite sure I still have my login, you know, name and password.
Yeah.
But, you know, like, I want to try to go to the community center and see what all is available.
Yeah, okay. When you log into your dashboard with CSN, click on updates.
Update.
Updates.
Okay.
And that'll bring up a list of messages, important messages that we want everybody to know about. And in there is a message, I think it's grand opening for the community center or something like that. You'll see it, and then it'll have a link in there.
Okay.
So that's in your back office if you ever need it for reference. Then once you go there, save, you know, bookmark the site. So you save it on your browser. Get to it easy next time.
Okay.
All right, does that help? All right. Good. Okay, anybody else? Who else has got things going on? Who else needs help? I think everybody needs help. They just don't want to admit it, right? All right. Well, you got everything you need. All right. You just got to make a plan, put it into action. You know, sitting around thinking about it isn't going to get you very far. And I know everybody's busy. It's easy to be distracted these days. But hey, success requires a price. Either you do what's required or you don't. You know, that's up to you. So with that, I guess we'll draw things to a close. We're an hour and a quarter here, so that's probably long enough. Thank you very much for your time and attention, and hope this will help you along the way. Just as a note for future reference, as far as I'm concerned, between tonight and previous trainings that we've done and what I put out in the email, you got everything you need, all right? And for that reason, I don't know how many more trainings I'm going to do. My schedule's getting very tight. And so, I might be doing these less frequently. So that means that you'll have more time to put your plan into action, and that's the good news. Don't have to listen to me. But I'll have this session recorded, and you can refer back to it when you need to. And I hope you took some good notes, got some pointers, and some things that will help you along the way. Okay?
Thanks, Mark.
All right. Charles, you got your hand raised there?
Yes, going back 45 years ago to the original plan that made me 100 grand and a lot more than that. It seemed to me like we could sponsor 100 wide if we wanted to. It's been a long time, but can we not do that here too, or does the computer system prevent it?
No, you actually, there's a feature that once you get 5 deep on your organization, once you get up to level 5, once you've qualified for level 5, let me be precise in my language, then you can start going wide. All right?
Okay, well, I'm there now, so I could be doing that.
Yeah, okay. Good deal.
Thank you.
Good deal.
Thank you.
Good
Thank
job.
you. I forgot about that.
Yeah. And let me just give you a reminder too, before we sign off, is that if you don't stay ahead of your downline in terms of your stepping up to the next level, they could pass you up. All right. There are some people that jump in, they get aggressive, they want to go, go, go. They might prepay 2 or 3 levels. And if they do, and you're not qualified to receive the level that they're paying on, they could pass you up. Okay. So be aware of that. And I highly encourage people to, as your donations come in, be sure you use what you need to step up to the next level. And if you're in a position financially to do so, you might want to just pay it forward a couple of levels and just stay ahead of the game. Okay. So that's an important note just to be aware of. All right. So let me see if there's anything more in chats. Doesn't look like it. Go see Gary's 5starllc.com. And hey guys, let me know if you need anything. You know how to get a hold of me. Like I said, just reply to any of the emails that you get, and I'll see it. And I'd be happy to work with you directly, and use me as the expert from afar. If you got a hot prospect, you want to introduce them to the founder, kind of build me up a little bit, and your relationship, you know, to show how close you are to, you know, the inner circle, that could be very beneficial. And we didn't talk about that very much, but use your upline or use me to talk to your clients and get them closed. Be happy to do that for you, okay? All right, so that's